Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Friday vlog. How is everyone? I hope you all had a wonderful week. Our week has been a combination of rain and sun, more rain than sun, and it just feels like this has been the rainiest summer that I've ever encountered in my 5 years here in Vermont. It just never seems to stop. And then when it does stop, it's very hot outside. So today I had to get a ride to CVS to get my medicines, and it was so hot. And the driver, um, she had her AC on, but she also had her window open. So, I mean, it wasn't terribly uncomfortable, but yeah, it's just been so hot. So, I don't know why I've been so down in the dumps this week. The only thing I can think of is that, one of our friends on YouTube lost his dog. Um, he got under the fence and the coyotes got to him. And I guess it's just kind of brought up sad feelings about losing Vivi a couple of years ago. And I get so close to my animals, since I never had children, my fur babies are my animals. And so it hits me hard when I lose them. We had a Russian blue cat for 14 years, and he suddenly got ill and was gone within hours. Um, it hurts me and it affects me so badly that, I still cry, not so much over Storm. He was 14, but, Vivi was really, really hard. He and I came up here to uh to Vermont together from Tennessee, and even though he had aggression issues, for the most part he was very loving. And Winnie is a very aloof cat. She she only wants to get petted when she wants to get petted. She doesn't like to get picked up. So I miss a lot about Vivi. He would always come and sleep on my chest, and he was like stuck to me like glue. He was such a loving cat, and he always wanted to be with me, and I miss that so so much. So I think it's just kind of brought me down a little bit, and this gentleman made a comment. He said, God brought this dog to me for a reason. He helped me get out of bed. He helped me, get on with my life. But then why did he take him away? My my take on this is that, I don't really think that God controls everything that happens in your life. Accidents happen, you know. I don't think he can foresee everything. Now, I've never been a very religious person. My parents were atheists, but once I met Dave, who was a an ordained minister, he introduced religion to me. I went to a few churches, and I did become born again. But I'm not the type to constantly preach about God like a lot of people do that annoy the crap out of me. Um, you know, Kudos to you if you want to be 100% about Jesus and talk about him all the time. But that bugs me, and it bugged Dave too. You can be a Christian without shoving it down other people's throats all the time, and them telling you that you're a bad person because you don't follow Jesus, and they're out on the streets, the the thumping Christians out there. And yeah, I believe in God and I believe in Jesus, but I also believe that things happen and they're not necessarily God's doing, you know? I mean, the poor dog got under the fence into the coyotes' territory and they got him. And that happened to one of my cats too when we lived in Tucson, Arizona. We had actually just gotten this cat from somebody who had to give him up because their apartment complex changed management and they wouldn't allow pets. So they gave us this cat that they called Tusi. He was a beautiful, beautiful white cat and he had black markings on him. And he was sweet. And we lived on the second floor of this apartment complex in Tucson. It was way up on the hill towards the mountains. And he liked to go onto the patio railing. And I had no idea that he was jumping down onto the grass. And so one day we woke up and he wasn't here. I don't know, we must have left the door open to the patio in the other bedroom. And I couldn't find him. Apparently, Dave went outside and found him, and the coyotes had gotten to him. So I hate coyotes. I just hate them. They have killed so many animals that we have had when we lived in Arizona. And I am convinced that there was a coyote in Smyrna. The lady that I lived with in Smyrna, she constantly let her cats out. And we had woods behind the house, and they would always come home. They'd always come in. But then one day, her black cat, who she named Boyfriend, he disappeared. We didn't know what happened to him. And then I had become so close to her ginger cat. Her name was Clementine, and we bonded almost immediately when I moved in. I had a room in the house. It was at a point in my life where I could not afford an apartment. I had lost my job. So I wound up living in people's homes in rooms. And Clementine and I were so, so close. And she told me, when I decided to come up to Vermont, that I could take Clementine with me. And so I had left the house to come up to Vermont to visit my family for the first time. And Clementine was outside, but she wouldn't come inside. She was in the bushes. And, I always made a point every night to make sure she was in the house before I went to bed. Because I worried, there were woods there were animals there, and I knew it wasn't safe for her. And it bugs me to death when people let their cats outside. They always say cats that are outside cats have a shortened lifespan because there's cars, there's animals, anything can happen to your cat outside. So that night when I left, I just left her in the bushes in the front of the house. And then the following day, my landlord lady texted me and she said, "Have you seen Clementine?" And I told her, I saw her, last night before I left. She was in the bushes and she disappeared. And I tell you, I cried for 6 hours that night in my motel room over this. I was just devastated, And I had seen a coyote coming home one night at night. At first I thought it was a dog crossing the street, and no, it was a coyote. So I'm convinced that he got both of those cats. And it was just a horrible thing. I know people have outside cats, and I do not condone that at all because it is too dangerous. If you are really, really attached to your fur babies, you need to keep them in the house. You really do, because it's too dangerous, And I've lost so many cats to car accidents, being run over. And eventually we just said, no, we're keeping our cats inside because, they're a part of your family. And so, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. So I guess that's why I'm in kind of depressed this week, you know, just thinking about our friend Steve-O and him losing his dog. He always had the dog on, when we were doing live streams. Cutest little thing. His name was Zero. And I think about Vivi a lot and wish that Winnie was so much more loving like he was. And it's still kind of like a void in my life. Even though I have a cat, she's not the type of cat that really comforts me. You know what I mean? She's not that type of cat. And she had a previous family, and you always run the risk of a cat not being the way you want them to be if they've been, rehomed. So, anyway, that's that depressing thing. So, tonight, my friend Shane was live, and I just caught him at the very last half hour of his stream, and I sang two songs there. And I have been sleeping so much this week. Been extremely exhausted. I don't know why. It's a common thing with me. I do have sleep apnea, but I find I don't sleep well with the sleep apnea machine at all. Um, it's uncomfortable on my face, and I don't sleep well with it. And I've noticed that I sleep so much better without that crazy mask. So even though I'm supposed to be using it, it's just I don't get the sleep that I need when I use that thing. So yeah. So and I should be happy. I'm going to see my sister next week in Boston again. We're going to try and have a more fun trip this time, and hopefully I won't end up in the hospital again. Now that I'm off those two medications, I don't get the dizzy spells anymore, and the shortness of breath that I was getting so badly when I was there back in April. And I'm feeling better in that manner. Unfortunately, I keep gaining weight, even though I'm not eating a whole lot. Um, it goes up and down a lot. Up 2 pounds, down 2 pounds. It's frustrating, like I've said before, and a lot of ladies can relate to that problem of the gaining the weight and all that. But other than that, been pretty quiet around here, and that's about it. I've learned some new songs for the karaoke nights, or old songs that I knew, but I've relearned. Um, I've done a couple of, let's see, I've got my Smule up right now. Where are my glasses? Because, I wind up singing the same old songs all the time, and I get tired of them after a while. I sing Perfect by Ed Sheeran a lot because I love that song. Um, so the ones that I've been singing lately, get to the top of my list. The very top of my list I've been relearning is Make You Feel My Love by Adele. Let That Pony Run by Pam Tillis. It's a pretty song. The song Remembers When from Trisha Yearwood. Blue Moon of Kentucky, Patsy Cline version. Silver Threads and Golden Needles. It's So Easy to Fall in Love, a couple of Linda Ronstadt songs. And then I did Leanne Rimes Blue, Walk Away Joe by Trisha Yearwood, Singing the Blues by Marty Robbins, Need You Now by Lady A, and then some Fleetwood Mac songs like Don't Stop, Everywhere, and Help Me Make It Through the Night. I love that song. And then I also started doing the Bee Gees again. I started a joke to love somebody, and how can you mend a broken heart? Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. Now, this one I haven't done on karaoke yet, but this was the very first song I heard of the Beatles. And it was called I Should Have Known Better. That was like their very first album. And what if I still have that? I think I do. I think I got it on CD. At one point in one of our homes, it got flooded, and all of my albums, my vinyl albums, were destroyed. So I have, over the years, gotten CD versions of the vinyl albums that I did have. So I've got the very first album. I think it's called Something New. And then I've got some Long and Winding Road. And then I did some Judds, Have Mercy, Grandpa, Love Can Build a Bridge, The Rose, and Tennessee Whiskey, I absolutely love. So yeah, I've just been adding some different songs into my repertoire here. And it gives people a little variety of me singing different songs. So that's been fun. Still need to call the dentist. I don't know why I keep putting it off. I think I'm just so afraid that they're going to actually pull this middle tooth and then it's going to look horrible. I mean, it looks horrible now, but to have that taken out is not going to be very pleasing aesthetically. But that chip that I got when I fell, it's been a year since I fell on my face. And you can see right here, I had a really bad cut right there. And then you can see here, I still have swelling after a year. You know, I've got all these little bumps and things like right there. It's been a year. I guess these things are never going to go away. You know, and I'm still getting the weird headaches, but all my CT scans came out fine. So, you know, there's no damage to the inside of my head. It's just my forehead. So, I also had a cut here, which is, it started showing up again when I started washing my face again and using scrubbing little things, you know, where they have the little beads that exfoliate your skin. And I noticed that this little cut started showing up again. So, yeah, it's been a year since I saw Keith. It was the 24th. And I got a notice in my email. It's been a year since you've seen Keith Urban. And I'm thinking, yeah, half of Keith Urban's songs. Oh, God. And I was so looking forward to that. But I'm hoping better luck next time. So, yeah, Winnie is somewhere around here. I think she's on the bed. I see a black blob on the bed, so she's on the bed. So, I hope everyone's doing well. Getting ready for my trip for next week. I went into the pharmacy today. When I went to see my sister back in April, she didn't have soap, shampoo, or anything. So this time I went and I got travel sizes of body wash and shampoo so that I'll have that when I go. And just getting a little bit prepared for that, trying to figure out what I'm going to wear. I didn't bring any jeans last time, but I think I'm going to bring some this time. She did mention the duck trip that they do there in Boston, and my friends Anna and Josh last time said that they got me that Louis Capaldi sweatshirt because they said you need to be warm because you'll get cold in that thing. So I'll bring that again now. And it looks like it's not going to be very hot. Looks like it's going to be like in the 70s and rainy next week. So I've got to figure out what to wear. So I am looking forward to that and hopefully having a great time this time. I did last time, you know, that Monday night that we all went to see Louis Capaldi was amazing. And but then I was in the hospital for the next 7 days with what they called it diastolic congestive heart failure, which was so weird. And I never understood that diagnosis because all of my heart tests came out fine, you know. So I don't know. Very strange, but I'm feeling okay these days. My shortness of breath has calmed down a bit. Um, for a while there, even last week, I was very short of breath a lot, just getting up from the bed and going to the kitchen. But I seem to be feeling better this week. So, yay, I need to strengthen my legs for the 3 flights of stairs that I have to go up to my sister's apartment. And I've been doing my chair exercises every day. So that helps me feel stronger. And hopefully I'll be able to go up the stairs better this year. So that's what's going on with me. I hope everybody's doing well. And this weekend, I'm looking forward to karaoke this weekend with different people, Sunday and Monday, because next week I will be gone and I won't be singing, and I'll be taking a break from. I haven't really sung much in the past couple of days just because my voice has been so phlegmy a lot. I've got chronic allergies, so sometimes it's really hard to sing. But I sounded somewhat okay tonight. But all righty, guys, I love you so much, and I hope y'all have a great weekend, and I will see you next time.